On the shores of the Red Sea. The Israelites journeyed through the desert from Sukkoth to the shores of the Red Sea. Yahweh himself led them, taking the form of a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. When they reached the sea, they waited for Yahweh to show them what to do. They could not go back to Egypt, and with the sea in front of them, they could not go forward. Meanwhile, Pharaoh and his officers recovered from their fright. "Who is going to work for us now that we have let the Israelites go?" they asked each other. Pharaoh realized he had made a mistake. He called for his chariot and set out with his entire army to bring the Israelites back. The Israelites were camped beside the Red Sea when they looked up and saw a cloud of dust rising in the distance. As the cloud came nearer, they saw it was Pharaoh and his chariot army bearing down on them. "What have you done to us?" they cried to Moses. "Are there no graves in Egypt that you have brought us here to die? Why did we ever listen to you? Better to remain slaves in Egypt than to perish in the desert." Moses spoke to them calmly. "Do not lose hope. Stay where you are, and you will soon witness the great miracle that Yahweh will perform this day. Do you see the Egyptians coming toward us in all their strength? After today, you will never see them again. Yahweh himself will fight for us. We have but to hold our faith and keep still." Moses prayed to Yahweh to help the children of Israel. Yahweh answered, "Why do you cry to me? Tell the people to go forward. As they enter the sea, take your hand and stretch it out over the water. The sea will divide. The Israelites will march across it as if they were walking on dry ground." Moses could not believe that he was being given the awesome power to split the sea. He said to Yahweh, "At the beginning of creation, you divided the sea from the land. Surely I, a mere human being, am not able to divide the sea further." As Moses hesitated, a leader of the tribe of Judah came forward. Nachshon, son of Amminadab, said to the people, "I would rather die than be a slave. If we remain where we are, we will be captured by Pharaoh's army. There is only one way to go, forward, into the sea." "But we will be drowned if we walk into the sea," the people protested. "Some may die," said Nachshon, "but I do not believe that Yahweh brought us here to perish. With Yahweh's help, at least some of us will survive. Who will come with me?" Nachshon began walking into the sea. The Israelites held back, unsure what to do. Suddenly, Miriam, Moses' sister, took her tambourine. Beating it with her fingers, she began to dance. At the same time, she sang a song of victory. "I sing to the Lord, for he is great. Horse and rider he has hurled into the sea." The women of Israel trusted Miriam even more than they trusted Moses. While Moses had been growing up in Pharaoh's palace or hiding with Jethro in the desert, Miriam had been with them, delivering their children, caring for them in sickness, comforting them in their misery. Miriam had brought them hope in the midst of despair. The women of Israel picked up their drums, harps, tambourines, and cymbals and began following Miriam in the dance. "Your right hand, Lord, is radiant with power. Your right hand, Lord, smashes the enemy to pieces." Step by step, Miriam led the women into the sea. They had no fear because Yahweh and Miriam were with them. When the men of Israel saw the women following Miriam, they felt ashamed for their own lack of faith. They followed the women forward until the entire people entered the sea. They kept walking forward until the water rose to their necks. Still, Moses hesitated, frightened by the power that Yahweh had placed in his hands. Yahweh cried to him, "Why do you wait? The people believe in me. The water is up to their necks, and still they press forward. How much longer will you delay?" Moses dared hesitate no longer. He stretched his hand out over the sea. A strong east wind arose. It blew with mighty force until the water parted. A path formed through the middle of the sea. The waters piled themselves like a high wall on either side. The Israelites walked across the bottom of the sea as if they were walking across dry land. That day saw many miracles. The walls of the sea were transparent. As the Israelites passed between them, they could see all the strange creatures and all the treasures that lay in its depths. Whatever anyone desired was there. If a person wanted riches, he had but to reach through the watery wall to grasp a handful of pearls or diamonds. If a person was hungry, she could reach through the wall and find whatever she wanted to eat. A stream of clear water flowed along the undersea path, providing water for the children of Israel, as well as for their flocks and herds. The Israelites were so entranced by the wonders at the bottom of the sea that Moses had to hurry them along, or they might have chosen to remain there forever. No sooner had the last Israelite crossed when Pharaoh and his chariots charged into the undersea path. Unlike the Israelites, they did not find the way easy. It was slick with mud and choked with sharp stones. Horses slipped and fell. Seaweed clogged the chariot wheels. Axles broke. Wheels fell off. Pharaoh's swift chariot army found itself hopelessly mired. Then Yahweh told Moses to stretch his hand over the sea once more. The waters swept back to their place and covered the Egyptians. Of all that vast host, not a single man, horse, or chariot escaped. All perished at the bottom of the sea. When the Israelites saw the Egyptians lying dead on the seashore, they sang a song. More than ever, they believed in the power of Yahweh and his servant Moses.